The Breakfast Rush Family 5-kilometer fun run and walk, 11 October, 7 a.m. at the Blue Lagoon Lawns. Feel the rush as you race past the iconic Moses Mabhida Stadium and take in the ocean breeze along the Durban Promenade. Then the fun really begins. Scavenger hunts, kite building, burger eating contests, food trucks, prizes, and a 6-hour live broadcast from Radio Al Ansar. Bring a brand new toy to spread joy to children in hospital. And don't forget, register online.
Welcome to the Village Code Cafe and Bistro, where flavors dance and every gathering feels like magic. Halal certified and run by 3 sisters, we serve breakfast all day, from bagels and sourdough open sandwiches to burgers, wraps, toasties, tacos, nachos, and our signature coffee blend, crafted just for our cafe. Host your next event with us, all in a space that feels as good as it tastes. Find us at the Westville Village Market, 123 Jan Hofmeyer Road, lower ground level. Call us on 079 670-4093. The Village Co, where every bite feels like home.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome right into it. It is Career Compass on a Thursday, the 14th of August, where we navigate the world of careers. My name is Kelly Ramazani, and you tuned into 90.4 FM if you are in the Durban region, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB, and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. You already know what the show is about. So for today, what is the lineup? We are going to be speaking about digital footprints. What is digital footprint and how does it come back to bite you? We've got Gayton McKenzie as the prime example. I'm sure you already know what is happening around the news right now. We also have a special call to all business owners. You might want to listen to this. We're also going to look into social media trends and how we have just witnessed our very first case of how dangerous ChatGPT, including AI, is if you are vulnerable. All this and a whole lot more coming your way here on 90.4 FM. Shout out to Sponiso, who is the tech on duty. And more, Kelly Ramazani keeping you company up until 2 o'clock. You can join us with your conversations, your comments, your concerns, and everything you've got to say on 060-904-1056. We'll also be taking a caller today. We got a little hamper to give away for you because your lunch breaks are about to get better.
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056. Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. You are the greatest.
You've arrived at your destination.
You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al Ansar. That is where you're at, Career Compass on Radio Al Ansar with me, Kelly Ramazani, every Thursday. Now, I got a case study which kind of did break my heart, but also opened my eyes. And I said, no, I'm not going to solve this on my own. So I'm going to bring it to your attention. And I would ask you to please come forward, okay? 060-904-1056. If this was your friend, if this was your loved one, if you were in a similar situation, what would you do? What would you say? You never know, okay? Your comment or your tips could help somebody. Now, this is the story. Listen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Kelly. My name is, okay, we're not going to mention that on air. I am a 28-year-old mother of 3 who has been longing to go back to school. Last year in February, I spoke to my husband, and surprisingly, he was in full support of it. Wow. Okay. He agreed to help me with the financial aspect as well as babysitting. However, when we decided to share the news with the family, My father-in-law strongly objects. I do not know what is the cause to this, but I'm heartbroken to see something that I was so excited to do has not been well received. I don't know what could be the cause, but my husband is now becoming doubtful. What advice do you have for me? Okay. I read this about 3-4 times just to understand. I didn't understand a few things. I'm going to raise it to you as well because we are in this together. Okay. One, I didn't understand the family dynamics. I read it and I was like, share the news with the rest of the family. Why did you have to share the news with the rest of the family? And then I thought, I was like, oh, okay, that means this family is closely bonded or they live together. Maybe that's the reason. But then I thought, now that the husband is going to be babysitting, maybe that's the reason they need to share the news with the rest of the family. Okay. And then I thought about the father-in-law's objection or the reason for his objection. And I was like, okay, what could this be? But then again, I'm not going to solve this on my own. So I need you to come forward with your comments on this situation. Here's a mother of 3 who has been longing to go back to school. She did mention that she completed her matric but didn't further her studies. Her husband has approved, but her father-in-law strongly objects. I did speak to the lady. I wanted to find out more. I mean, this is such a short case, short points for us to conclude on anything. So she did mention that the husband works in a family business, which did give me some clarity why the father-in-law might disapprove. Okay, but that's me. I'm going to share my take later on, but I want to read what you have to say about this, okay? Tell me what you have to say on 0609041056. But first and foremost, let's jump right into digital footprint. What is digital footprint? How does it affect you? We said Gayton McKenzie is a good example right now. Now, your presence on social media is permanent. Your presence online is permanent, meaning your post. When I say presence, I don't mean physically presence. Come on now. I mean your online posts. Okay, your comments, your posts, they are permanent, even if you delete it. I'm not speaking about people that already take screenshots. We do know, we are aware that people do take screenshots of our posts. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you having to share your stories, your views, your opinions on social media. Even if you delete them, we can always trace it back. We've got gurus, we've got IT experts who can sit on a computer and pull out files of your great-grandfather if they did post on social media. So now politician Gayton McKenzie's old tweets have resurfaced, and darling, they are not looking good. It has sparked a wide debate, and people are calling for his resignation. They want him down. They're like, no. We can't have a political leader that thinks like this. And it's not like he can justify it and say, hey, I was 13, I was 18. I've got posts on Facebook, and Facebook reminds me, like, Kelly, 5 years ago, 8 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. What was I thinking? Okay, that can be justified with age. Gayton, not so much. All right, so that is what we are going to be talking about, the dangers of careless posting. Last week, we did make mention of it and how some people still choose to engage in hate speech and reckless behavior under their business account. Why would you want to do that? Why? Create an account, be anonymous, be a ghost. I'm not saying go out there online and be the word, but no. If you want to be reckless and carefree, do that on a separate account. Learn to differentiate between your personal opinions and your work, okay? Because sometimes if you decide to get the two mixed, guess what? It's going to cost you. So don't do that, all right? That is what we are going to be talking about today. We've got a case study that is just, oh my God, it's I don't know the words. Words are failing me right now. I want to help this young lady, but I feel like her situation requires careful analysis, because this is a family dynamic. It could be cultural, it could be religious, it could be, but it's not just a couple. It also involves the family, extended family, the in-laws. And what you have to say is very important. I see lots of your messages coming in. I absolutely love you all. And we're going to read all those messages one by one. Quickly, let's wrap up this digital footprint topic. Now, how do you behave online without allowing it to cost you your opportunities? I'm not going to be here lecturing you, a grown adult, how to behave online. You should know how to behave online. You should know how to behave anywhere. But sometimes we get too excited. We forget. We get the following, the likes, and we're like, oh my God, I'm a celebrity. People love what I have to say. No, they don't. Okay, on social media, they do. They might cheer you up to your madness, but it's going to catch up with you. So don't allow that to affect your critical thinking. All right. So separate your personal and professional account. Do fact checking. This is very important, especially for us, the radio broadcasters. We are always on the run to be the first one to do the breaking news. I want to be the first one to break the breaking news, and then you find yourself in a situation that you are not fact checking. We even had a situation earlier this year with the president of the United States, Donald Trump, my favorite character. I love him so much. No, wait, hold on, guys, hold on. I know we have sensitive listeners. Let me clarify that. I love him as in entertainment, not in leadership and what he does. This one time he comes out on the press and he's like, they're eating dogs and they're eating cats. And that information was not verified. Do you know how dumb you look to say that? So this is the situation. That's what happens when you refuse to fact check before sharing information. Also be careful. I know lots of things on WhatsApp, especially now with AI, people are just forwarding without taking a moment to say, hey, how true is this? I love my mom too, the moon and back. But every single day I have to say, Ma, that is AI. But it's so real. Look at this cat reciting Quran. When have you ever seen, subhanallah? Okay, let's leave it there. Digital footprint is the topic. We are taking in one call right now, asking you a simple question. You get it correct and you get yourself a short hamper. Benefits of lunch break, I guess. It's a short hamper for you to snack and have some biscuits. Yeah. Biscoff hamper. It contains 3 items. That's a Biscoff biscuit as well as a caramelized biscuit spread. 0861 904 904. Quickly, and you could be lucky. Then we'll now read your messages and go back to solving our problem, the case that we have for today. I'm also joined in studio by somebody whom I'm going to be introducing right after this.
Call us now on 0861 904 904.
When you get a chance, say a prayer like this. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا.
One child, one dream.
A journey with Africa Muslims Agency that began 3 years ago has changed the lives of Syrian and Palestinian refugee children beyond their dreams. Help them to continue their education by sponsoring a student at the Amman School of Excellence in Lebanon for 25,200 Rand per year. Education at Amman can provide a brighter future for refugee families.
AMA, empowering, educating, inspiring.
J. Junaid Jamshed's Freedom Sale is now live. Now avail a flat 25% off and flat 50% off on all items. Avail the most exciting offers from 7th August till 17th August 2025. Or shop online at za.junaidjamsheds.com.
Elevate your style with Al-Noor kurtas and fragrances from Potent Eyes Perfumes, exclusively available at Al-Ansar Shop. Visit us at 207 West Road or call 031-208-1601. Experience the best in fashion and perfumery. Al-Ansar Shop where elegance meets fragrance.
Tweet us at Al-Ansar Radio.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
Riveting interviews, empowering, educating, and appealing.
You are on 90.4 FM. This time I'm not going to repeat it one more time, okay? You know you're on Radio Al Ansar. But that's my smooth line. That's like my comeback line. When I come back saying, you're 90.4 FM radio, all the time. I sound so smooth, right? All right. Your messages on 060-904-1056. This one says, salams by a and do the father-in-law. We can't read that on air, but I see your message. Thank you for that. Assalamu alaikum, Kelly. Brilliant show. I'm listening. Jazakallah khair. Please do send us your name so we give you a shout out as well. Assalamu alaikum, Kelly. Show and playlist. And this comes from Sugra. You know, I love you so much. I absolutely admire you. Here's another message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Always great listening to you. Hope you are well and lovely, Kelly. Responding to your request as to what the listener feel about the mom of 3 wanting to study. Okay, we need to listen to this. This is feedback. If her husband is fine with her going to study and he is in support of it, why is her father-in-law against it? That is exactly what we're all trying to find out, okay? Maybe because the husband is in the family business, the father-in-law is objecting. Finances probably, or the family business. Okay, I'm not getting exactly what you mean by that, but what I also thought was the reason why the father-in-law could object is because maybe the son's performance in the family business is excellent. Okay. And he feels as though if the son is now involved in family affairs, which by the way, I don't think we should have a label for the roles, but anyways, before you come for me, which I think the father-in-law thinks, hey, if my son is not going to be involved in taking care of the kids because he's agreed to babysitting, this is going to take away from his performance. That's what I thought. Okay. Let's go to more messages. 060-904-1056. Have a meeting with the family and get each one's take on the situation. Maybe a compromise can be made and all parties will be content. After all, she's doing something that is to better herself. Absolutely love your message. On my system, it says Aisha, but I don't know if it's from Aisha, but Jazakallah for a brilliant take there. I think this is so important that she is investing not just in herself, but in the upbringing of these children. This woman will be qualified, she will be educated, and this will have a huge impact on how she raises her kids, on what she teaches them. It's a win situation. I don't know why the father-in-law is disagreeing. Assalamu alaikum, I hear you, but please, but I don't see you at the gym. Oh my God, shout out to Coach Jules. Absolutely love you. I have 3 pages of excuses as to why I haven't gone to the gym this whole week. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, I go to Relentless Boxing. Shout out to them. Amazing. But like the word says it, relentless. Okay, you got to tighten your seatbelt. If you are in for the hardcore, that's the place to be. Coach, I will see you, inshallah, soon with my 3-page essay of why I haven't been to the gym this whole week. I'm going to type it this evening. I'm still making up the lies. Another message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beautiful Kels. I was so excited meeting you on Women's Day. I loved the event that took place on Women's Day on the 9th of August here at Al Ansar. It was brilliant seeing the women in the community, and we were just, it was amazing. And we're going to have more, okay? Every year, by the way, there's going to be an event dedicated to women, because we want to remind you, in case nobody has reminded you, that you are the nurturers of our community and the work you do does get noticed. It's not that it's unnoticed, even if you feel like that sometimes. We appreciate you and we thank you. Another message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I was in the same situation, so talking from experience. Nasreen, delete that message. Delete that message. Okay. I see lots of messages coming in. I absolutely love that you all are coming forward with responses and solutions to our problem. We are going to go back to it and I'm going to read all your messages, that I assure you. But for now, I don't want to keep our guests waiting. I want us to get right into it now. Speaking about skills that pay the bills, this week we are talking about communication. We've been talking about communication every week on this show. Okay, not every week. I'm exaggerating. There you get it, right? We've been speaking about communication, but I feel like many people don't understand how important communication is or what communication is. It's not just about you speaking. It includes you listening. It includes body language, non-verbal cues. Communication is about proximity also. How people are seated, body language, like I said, postures, facial expression, all these are cues to tell you something that someone is not yet saying. So for you to master communication, best believe it's going to do wonders in your job, whatever field you are in. And for today, I've got somebody in the sales department who's going to be telling us how important it is, because according to studies, workplace studies, around 60% of the mistakes that we do are caused to what? Poor communication. And I'm not talking about gossiping, okay? I'm talking about poor communication, meaning unclear emails, unclear instructions or half-given instructions, not listening, and not knowing what your target audience is asking you of, okay? That can be from a project deadline. Sometimes you get an email, and I'm not going to mention anybody's names, but my managers, hope you're listening. I need this work ASAP. What is ASAP? ASAP is not a timeline. It's not a time frame. It's not, I need this work by Monday morning at 10. Be specific, be exact. ASAP. Oh, okay. I might translate it as something else, but never mind. So the tips on how to become a great communicator, we'll talk about that. But for now, I want to bring in the man of the show. Drum roll, please. Mohammed Saeed, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Salam. I'm great. Thank you so much. MashaAllah.
Pleasure having you on this show. I know Mohammed Saeed, you see me from the admin side of Kelly. You haven't seen me on air, and this is the first time. How was my performance?
Amazing.
You can tell me the truth. It's fine. I'll improve later.
It was.
Anyways, Saeed, you are in the sales department, and you are addition to the sales team here at Al Ansar, and you do have a previous history, you know, with sales and marketing and direct contact with people, convincing them. How important has communication been for you throughout your journey?
Wow. Okay, to start with, I'll share what I learned in my previous job.
Yeah.
We call it LEAP. It's an acronym for listening. So, which ties in well with what you're saying. So people should hear the instruction, get it clear, and make sure that you heard exactly what was being communicated with you. So listen, and then empathize with the person that is relating with you.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a grievance or a problem that you need to solve.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to solve the problem if you do not understand and empathize with that person. And don't pretend that you know exactly what she's going through. No. But empathize with them. So that makes them to be at ease without you saying, calm down. Because people don't like that.
I also don't like that.
Please calm down. No, I'm not going to calm down.
What do you mean calm down?
Let me vent, you know. So, I mean, after you've empathized, you acknowledge that there is a problem.
Yes.
You know. And from there onwards, you get to solve the problem. That's LEAP, you know. So it does help when you listen actively and ask discovery questions as well, especially if you didn't get what the person is saying. So you said A, B, and C is like this. Yes. Oh, okay. Now I understand. You know? Or, so you said it was X, Y, Z. No, it was L, M, N, O, P. Oh, okay. You see, so then you use the very same phrase that they used to use, so you can relate it back to them, so you can get the clear, concise story. Yeah.
I absolutely love that you gave us a very detailed response, you know, but I want to touch on empathy. You can never fully feel or understand what a person is going through. You know, and sometimes that can get in the way of you understanding how or why they feel the way they feel, right? But to empathize, you said it's also a very important communication to empathize with somebody that you're speaking to, so that they feel at ease when speaking to you. How can we fake at this point? I'm sorry, but how can we fake empathy?
I think it has a lot to do with sarcasm as well.
Yeah. I'm very sarcastic. And I hate that sometimes.
I know. It has a lot to do with sarcasm. But I don't think it's a good thing, you know, to actually fake it. Because then you close a door for yourself from people to try and approach you because they know that you're not approachable. It's really, really bad. It's a bad habit, to fake it.
Yeah.
So I think if you're not okay with communicating with that person, just make it clear. And then you just
I love that. I love that. Now, I was waiting for you to come in so I can approach you with that question. There are some people whom, unfortunately, we cannot stand. We love them, yes, but sometimes this person is known to be dramatic, known to be chaotic, known to be, that kind of person.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to continue communicating with them, but you can't confront them.
Yeah.
Okay. So at times you're like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, sorry, friend. Yeah, whatever. Not necessarily friend. It could be a colleague. It could be anybody. Okay. I'm just hypothetically speaking right now. What happens when you cannot confront this person and tell them, hey, I don't feel comfortable us talking about this every now and again, or hey, I'm not happy with how you view things and the remarks you always give when we engage in a conversation. You've been vulnerable, you've communicated, but this person, for some weird reason, thinks, hey, no, I'll still go on. Then now you're left with no choice but to fake it. But now faking means you've closed that door, like you say, of connection.
Yeah.
You cannot feel it. It's not authentic. What then?
Look, I'm just gonna go out.
Mind
and say
you,
it.
I'm suddenly giving you the communication expert title. I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
I always do that. Yeah,
I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah.
I think that's when you just have to, use your spiritual element and just make dua. And just ask Allah to give you that grace to be able to handle this. I'm just recently been, focusing on astaghfirullah.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Istighfar has done wonders for me, subhanAllah.
Yes. So you never know where that might come in handy.
Yeah,
So after you've just made it and you just see everything just goes easy. Allah's making it easy. So another thing would be to actually talk to a very close friend that you trust.
Yeah.
And just relay the story with them without necessarily mentioning names. And you say, look,
don't try that here.
I've got a problem. I've got a problem with so such and such. How would you handle such a problem or such a conflict? So, and you just take a
different perspective.
Yeah, eat the meat and leave the bones.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work, and then you just continue making dua until that day comes when you have a solution.
Mama Say, thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for your insight. And what a brilliant person you are, mashallah. I know you and I haven't really had a conversation like this, and this is the first time. And it was a crazy experiment to have this conversation on air, but subhanAllah, you gave out brilliant responses. Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you so much.
We shall keep in touch. And that is Muhammad Saeed, who is a part of our sales representative from Radio Al Ansar. So if you're looking for marketing, if you're looking for advertising on radio, you know who to call. He's your go-to. Back to your messages on 060-904-1056. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The father must learn his seerah. Okay. Salam's great show as always. Please let the husband man up and lead his family to success. Family business come and go. Please take you and your family to the best place you can. Shukran, Faisal. All right. This is something I also wanted to mention. We got a message that said, no, it's important for the wife to call for a family meeting to get everybody's take on this matter. I disagree. It's not in her place. This is family. As much as you are their daughter-in-law and you feel included in this family, the truth remains that they are not your family. I'm so sorry. I have to be the bearer of bad news. Every week I have to piss people off. But this is the truth. It's the truth. In Swahili, in my culture, we say, I'm not going to tell you the actual saying, but it says that, translation, your in-laws are both of your parents, meaning you and your husband will now share parents. Respect them, treat them the same, right? However, they are his parents. So you have to understand that there is a fine barrier there. When it comes to sensitive matters, they will always pick the side of their child. There is no negotiation in that. It's the son's place to say, Dad, I would like to know what are some of your concerns as to why you're objecting my wife going back to school. Let the father and son speak it out. maybe the father is just insecure. That's my take. I thought he's just insecure because some old people don't think women deserve education. Yeah, we're in 2025 and it still happens, you know? Some think her place is in the kitchen and it remains there. So maybe that could be the case. I don't know. I got a lot of take on this, which I'm going to share with you. But first, I want to read your messages. I'm so in love with the messages that are coming forward today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to inquire if there's any part of vacancies available. Somebody can... Okay. There are certain shows that do classification, that do community buzz or community information. It would be great if you can send in your message during those shows. Please pardon my ignorance right now. I don't know which shows exactly are doing that. But they do have segments where they allow people in the community who are looking for jobs to type in what qualifications they have and what job they're looking for. Here's another message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amazing show. Thank you. Regarding the sister story, my personal opinion is if your husband agrees solely, fully, wholeheartedly, she getting the support, then it shouldn't be anyone else's business, no matter who. This is between the husband and the wife. If the husband agrees to support her financially, then I'm sure together they will make arrangements to other stuff and will fall into place. Honestly, shouldn't involve any other family members, totally between the two couple, the spouses. If they really close and live with the in-laws Islamically, it's still the spouse's decision, I feel. May Allah make it easy for her and grant her all the best from her heart's desire. I mean, Jazakallah khair. You mentioned something here that I would like to comment on. You mentioned that if the husband agrees, especially if he agreed to take on the responsibility of finance to fund her back to school, then it's nobody else's business. I thought for a second that the father objecting and him being the husband, when I say him, I mean the husband, being in the family business, it could mean that maybe the father is the one funding their lifestyle. Now that it gets interesting. If the father is in charge of the finances and he's objecting, what does that mean? I see more of your messages, but I need a breather. So we're going to take a quick few seconds to gather ourselves and recompose ourselves and then read some more of your messages. 0609041056 is the number. We got a caller, but they dropped. Can you call back again, please? I know I was talking too much. I didn't turn to the calls, but now I'm going to turn to the calls. 0861 904 904 is the number. Call in. We ask you a simple question. I know every day I say simple and then I make it complicated. This time I mean it. It's going to be simple. It's going to be so simple you might not even know the answer from how simple it is. Okay, come on, call us. Thank you.
By the time you learn to love, you'll have to learn to lose. Since one day I'll be leaving you, but hold on tight like you once did. When you get a chance, say and pray.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
The names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is proudly brought to you by Turkiya, the Modest Boutique, 580 Ridge Road, Demure Couture for the discerning.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is as-salam. Of the meanings of that is the peace. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made peace the default with regards to humanity, and war is the exception. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Jannah Darus Salam. It is that final abode of peace. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made peace the greeting of the children of Adam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Allah is as-salam, so spread it amongst yourselves. And he said that you will not enter Jannah until you believe, and you will not believe until you love one another. Shall I not tell you something that if you do it, you will love one another? Spread the salam amongst each other. And so I've been to the most beautifully designed masajid where you walk in and they've spent millions of dollars, and yet because no one will respond to your salam, you end up leaving, not wanting to go back. And I've been to streets in the most notorious areas of America, but because people on the street will greet you because they recognize your Islam, they greet you with salam, it makes you feel like home.
The names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is proudly brought to you by Turkiya, the Modest Boutique, 580 Ridge Road, Demure Couture for the discerning.
Turkiya brings to you the Modest Boutique, where elegance meets style and exclusivity meets you. Come in and view our personally handpicked range of exceptional quality garments for every occasion, from timeless classics to the latest trends in a range of fabrics to suit your taste. Abayas, top coats, dresses, scarves, and accessories. Let us bring out the diva in you. We offer you a truly relaxing shopping experience, secure on-site parking, open 7 days a week. Follow us on Instagram at Turkiya_Dublin or call 083-786-1065. Turkiya, Demure Couture for the discerning, 580 Ridge Road.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani. It is 8 minutes to 2 o'clock on this beautiful Thursday, the 14th of August, 2025. My name is Kelly Ramazani, and this is Career Compass, the show that talks about all things career-related matters. We talk about careers that are in demand locally and globally. We talk about side hustles. We talk about degrees that do not require a degree. We talk about careers that do not require a degree. We talk about degrees that are growing rapidly with the pace of with the fast pace. Oh my goodness, rapid is already fast enough. Kelly, breathe. We talk about careers that are growing with the rise of technology, as well as those that are falling behind completely. We talk about everything. We talk about everything. Now we have been speaking about development, and there was a case study that we looked into earlier about a mother of 3 who wants to go back to school. Her husband has approved. He's taken on the responsibility of funding her education, as well as arranging for babysitters so that the kids are well taken care of and she doesn't have to stress about that. Unfortunately, the father-in-law has disapproved. Reason being, we do not know. And now the lady is confused. She doesn't know how to handle this. She feels that she might lose the support of her husband as time goes by. Alhamdulillah, we've seen so many response, many people coming forward saying, no, they need to sit down, have a family meeting. No, the husband needs to stand up and take care of his family and stick by his wife's decision. And so many comments, and they're still coming in up until now. I absolutely love that. Thank you all. However, we now have to wrap it up. So this is my take. I'm going to share my take. I'm going to also include your feedback. But before I do that, I just want to mention how we have just witnessed our very first AI case. Dangers of AI case, okay? There has been many studies showing how people have committed suicide due to AI. Many people have injured others due to AI. And while sometimes I refuse for us to blame AI fully, because I think as human beings, we should take accountability. It shouldn't be a foreign word. But in this case, I'm blaming AI fully. Okay. And the lady in question. Now, if you have been on TikTok, Kendra has dropped series of how she fell in love with a psychiatrist. And she says that this man's boundary was a way of telling her that he loves her even more. So her fantasies and whatever that she imagined is real. He is obsessed with her just as she is. Then she goes on to mention that she had a conversation, or she has been having a conversation with her ChatGPT all along, telling Chat, hey, he looked at me in this way. Is this normal? And ChatGPT is like, correct. It is very normal. This guy's obsessed with you. The thing is, ChatGPT or AI has been created to mirror your mindset, your beliefs, your desires, whatever you want. It's meant to give you more of it. And if you are not careful, you are going to lock yourself up in a bubble or in a world of just you, and you'll be far-fetched from reality. And what the dangers of that is that you will not take in a different opinion. You might as well go ahead and hurt somebody for disagreeing with you, or hurt yourself. Okay, and this is what we're witnessing. Now, Kendra goes to say that her ChatGPT confirmed everything she was telling it, that yes, this is true. Confirmation bias is a real thing, guys. It's a real serious thing that AI or some research are created to agree with what you're saying. If you tell ChatGPT right now, don't try it out, okay? So I'm going to give you a wrong prompt. You tell it, hey, ChatGPT, I love Kelly Ramazani so much, and I think she's fantastic. Give me research, or give me pros and cons. No, don't do pros and cons. Just give me something to support this. Best believe it's going to create that research for you. It's going to give it to you. Yeah, because it's meant to please you, but it's not the truth. Okay, I do love you. That is the truth, but not like that now. Come on. But you get my point, right? You get my point. What I'm saying is you need to be able to use any information that is represented or presented to you neutrally, first and foremost, then be able to pick up faults from it, be able to see the good in it without having to consume just anything that is presented to you just because it agrees with you. You need to be in rooms or in settings with people that don't agree with you. And it's okay. We're human beings. We all cannot be the same. Okay? So that's my take. Now back to our story. Okay. Our story was about a 28-year-old mother of three, whom we're not going to mention name, who has completed her matric but did not further her studies and has been longing to go back to school. Last year, Feb, she spoke to her husband. Husband agreed, supports her fully, and he took on the responsibility of funding her financially, as well as making arrangements for the kids and babysitting so that she can go back to school. And they shared the news with the rest of the family. The father-in-law disapproved, didn't take a liking to it, strongly object. Now, I did mention some of my takes. Sometimes it can be a cultural thing. Some people, especially the older generation in many cultures, might see a woman's place or a woman's role as a home base. Okay, she's not supposed to be educated or independent, and that is feared. Okay, so that could be the reason. The other thing that I mentioned was the need for communication. I know some of you said she needs to call for a meeting and speak to the family. It's not, in my opinion, her place to challenge the father-in-law. Why are you disapproving? Tell me what's your problem. No, it's her place to speak to the husband. Thank you for the support. It's very much needed. I want to go on this journey, not alone, but knowing that I have your support, but the whole family. Okay. So I would ask that you speak to father-in-law, find out what are some of his fears, what are some of his concerns. Don't use the word, what are some of his, what's this word that I'm looking for? As in to point out that he's being aggressive about it, even though he's strongly object. You don't want to go in with that kind of mindset, because approach is very important. Approach can blind you. Okay. If you keep telling yourself everybody at work hates me, even if they don't, you are going to attack them before they could attack you, which is crazy. Okay. You need to be able to defend yourself. You need to be able to, why